The dismissal started when I was 17, sitting at the kitchen table with my college acceptance letters spread out in front of me. Pre-med. My brother Marcus laughed, reading over my shoulder. He was 21 then, finishing his business degree at State. That's ambitious for someone who barely passed high school chemistry. I got a B+, I said quietly. Exactly. He grabbed an apple from the counter. Medical school is for people who get straight A's without trying. People with natural talent. Not people who have to study all weekend just to get by. Dad looked up from his newspaper. Marcus has a point, Sarah. Medical school is extremely competitive. Have you considered nursing instead? It's a respectable career and more realistic. Mom nodded from the stove. Your Aunt Linda is a nurse. He loves it. Very stable, good hours, and you'd still be helping people. I want to be a surgeon, I said. The kitchen went silent except for the sound of Mom's wooden spoon scraping the pot. Marcus broke the silence with another laugh. A surgeon? Sarah, do you have any idea how many years that takes? How much it cost? How competitive it is? I have a full scholarship too. A scholarship to State, he interrupted. Not Johns Hopkins. Not Harvard. State. Marcus went to State, I pointed out. For business. That's different. Medical school at State isn't exactly prestigious. I folded my acceptance letters and left the kitchen. That conversation set the pattern for the next 8 years. When I got accepted to medical school, Marcus was building his real estate investment company. 4 more years of school, he said at Sunday dinner. I'll be making 6 figures while you're still drowning in student debt. When I started my surgical residency, he just bought his 3rd rental property. Still in training at 26? Most people have real careers by now. Mom and Dad never contradicted him. They'd smile apologetically at me, then change the subject. Marcus just closed another big deal, Mom would say. 3 commercial properties downtown. That's wonderful, I'd respond, cutting my food into smaller pieces. And how's the residency going? Dad would ask, the word residency sounding uncertain in his mouth, like he still wasn't entirely sure what it meant. It's good. Challenging. Still thinking about that surgery thing? Marcus would lean back in his chair. Or have you realized that's a bit out of your league? I'd learned not to respond. The worst part wasn't Marcus's mockery. It was the way my parents enabled it, their silence serving as agreement. They'd never say I wasn't good enough outright, but they'd never defend me either. My phone buzzed constantly during those years. Medical journals, research updates, surgical schedules. But at family dinners I kept it face down and silent. They thought I was a struggling resident, barely keeping up. They had no idea. By 29, Marcus's real estate company was thriving. He'd bought a house in the suburbs, married his college girlfriend, had a baby on the way. I lived in a modest apartment near the hospital, drove a 10-year-old Honda, wore scrubs most days. The contrast wasn't lost on anyone. Sarah, honey, Mom said one Sunday, Marcus mentioned his company is looking for administrative staff. Office work, good benefits. Maybe it's time to consider. I'm happy where I am. But you're 30 years old, Dad said gently. Still in training. Still living paycheck to paycheck. Don't you want stability? Marcus's wife, Jennifer, touched my hand. There's no shame in admitting medical school wasn't the right fit. Lots of people realize they're not cut out for. I'm exactly where I need to be, I said. Marcus shook his head. Pride. That's all this is. You're too stubborn to admit you should have listened to us 8 years ago. They didn't know I'd been promoted to chief of cardiothoracic surgery at St. Catherine's Medical Center 3 months earlier. They didn't know my research on minimally invasive valve replacement had been published in the New England Journal of Medicine. They didn't know I was being courted by Johns Hopkins and Mass General. They didn't know because I'd learned years ago that telling them anything just gave Marcus more ammunition. Still doing the doctor thing? Became his standard greeting. Still playing dress-up in scrubs? When I arrived in my work clothes. When are you going to get a real job? At every family gathering. I smiled, stayed quiet, and let them believe whatever they wanted. Thanksgiving arrived cold and gray. I'd worked a double shift the night before. Emergency repair of an aortic dissection, and arrived at my parents' house exhausted. Marcus's BMW sat in the driveway next to Dad's sedan. My Honda looked shabby in comparison. Sarah. Mom opened the door, pulling me into a hug that smelled like turkey and disappointment. We were worried you'd have to work. I made it. Marcus is in the living room telling everyone about his new development project. 40 units downtown. Isn't that impressive? Very. I found Marcus holding court on the sofa, tie loosened, gesturing with a whiskey glass. Jennifer sat beside him, 6 months pregnant now, glowing with contentment. And the return on investment should hit 23% in year 2, he was saying to my Uncle Tom and Aunt Linda. Incredible, Tom said. Aunt Linda noticed me. Sarah, how's the hospital? Good. Still doing the nursing thing? Uncle Tom asked. I'm not She's in surgery, Marcus interrupted, making air quotes around surgery. Training. So, at 30. Everyone nodded sympathetically. It takes a long time, Aunt Linda said kindly. She was the nurse Mom had mentioned years ago. But it's rewarding work. I've been nursing for 20 years now. Sarah's not actually a surgeon yet, Marcus clarified. She's like an assistant. Right, Sarah? You hand instruments to the real surgeons. Something like that, I said. Jennifer patted the sofa. Come sit. Tell us about it. Must be so exciting being in the operating room. Even if you're not the one actually doing the surgery. I sat. It's fine. Just fine. Marcus laughed. Sarah, you've spent 12 years of your life on this. It should be more than fine. It's rewarding. But you're still not actually a doctor, right? Still in training. The training period for surgery is long. How long? Dad asked, joining us from the kitchen. It depends on the specialty. She won't give a straight answer, Marcus told Dad, because she knows it sounds ridiculous. What are you, 30 now? Still a student. I'm not a student. Resident, student, whatever. Still learning. Still supervised. Still not trusted to do anything important on your own. Jennifer squeezed his arm. Marcus, don't be mean. I'm not being mean. I'm being honest. Sarah needs to hear this. She's wasted her 20s chasing something that's clearly not working out. He turned to me. How much debt are you in? 200,000? 3. I have scholarships. Scholarships don't cover everything. And what's your salary as a resident? 50,000? 60? I made that in a month last year. Aunt Linda tried to redirect. Different careers have different. Real doctors need talent, Marcus continued. Natural ability. You've always had to work twice as hard as everyone else just to keep up. Remember high school? Remember college? You were never the naturally gifted one, Sarah. Mom appeared in the doorway. Dinner's almost ready. I'm just trying to help, Marcus said. Someone needs to tell her the truth. Nursing would suit her better. It's still medicine, still helping people, but more appropriate to her abilities. I stood. I'll help set the table. Running away from honest feedback, Marcus called after me. That's always been your problem. In the kitchen, Mom handed me plates. He means well. He just worries about you. Does he? You have been in school a very long time, honey. Medical training takes time. I know, but... She lowered her voice. Don't you ever wonder if maybe he's right? If maybe you're forcing something that isn't meant to be? I set the plates down carefully. No. Because there's no shame in. I know there's no shame in nursing. Aunt Linda is a wonderful nurse. But that's not what I am. What are you then? I'm exactly what I set out to be. She looked confused but didn't push further. Dinner was the usual performance. Marcus talked about his business expansion plans. Jennifer glowed and talked about baby names. Dad discussed his golf game. Mom praised Marcus's success and worried aloud about my future. Sarah should meet someone, Aunt Linda suggested. Maybe through the hospital. Doctors must meet lots of people. She's not technically a doctor yet, Marcus corrected. I am technically a doctor, I said quietly. You know what I mean. Not a real doctor. Not independent. I have an MD. And 12 years later you're still being supervised like a medical student. That's not the same as being a real attending physician. I cut my turkey into precise pieces. How much longer? Dad asked. Until you're finished? I'm done with residency. Oh. Mom brightened. So you'll finally be a real doctor now? I've been a real doctor for 7 years. Marcus laughed. Technically. On paper. But you're not trusted to work independently yet, right? Still supervised. I'm the chief of. My phone buzzed. Then again. Then continuously. I glanced down. St. Catherine's emergency room. Multiple calls. Work emergency, I said standing. See. Marcus gestured with his fork. This is your life. Called away from Thanksgiving because someone actually important needs you to assist with something. I stepped into the hallway answering the phone. Dr. Williams, we have a situation. It was Dr. Patel, the ER attending. His voice was tight. 41-year-old male, acute MI, unstable. Needs emergency cap. Dr. Chin is in surgery, Dr. Rodriguez is unreachable, and Dr. Morrison is out of town for the holiday. My mind immediately shifted gears. Vitals. BP 90/60, HR 120, ST elevation in multiple leads. We've started treatment but he's deteriorating. We need you. I'm 20 minutes out. Prep or 2, call my team, get cardiology up there for support. I'll be there in 15. Already done. Dr. Williams. He paused. The patient's name is Marcus Williams. My blood went cold. What? He came in complaining of chest pain about 10 minutes ago. Wife is with him. They said he has a sister named Sarah. I hung up and walked back to the dining room. Everyone was laughing about something Marcus had said. Marcus, I said quietly. He looked up, annoyed. What? How do you feel? Fine. Why? Have you had any chest pain today? Just indigestion. Jennifer's been making me eat healthier. He patted his stomach. I'm fine. Any pain in your left arm? Shortness of breath. He frowned. My arm's been a little tingly but I probably slept on it wrong. Why are you? We need to go to the hospital. Now. What? Oh, it's Thanksgiving. I'm fine. Marcus, I think you're having a heart attack. The room went silent. Then Marcus laughed. A heart attack? I'm 41. I'm healthy. This is ridiculous. The symptoms you're describing are nothing. You're being dramatic. This is classic Sarah trying to make everything about medicine, trying to prove she knows something we don't. Marcus, please. No. He turned to Mom. This is exactly what I was talking about. She's been playing doctor for so long she actually thinks she can diagnose people at Thanksgiving dinner. Jennifer touched his arm. Honey, your arm has been hurting. It's nothing. Sarah's just trying to feel important. My phone rang again. I answered it. Dr. Williams, where are you? Dr. Patel's voice was urgent. Wait. There's confusion here. We have Marcus Williams in the ear, but his wife says his sister Sarah is at Thanksgiving dinner with him. You have a different Marcus Williams. The patient's wallet says his address matches the emergency contact information, which lists a Sarah Williams as his sister at this address. I closed my eyes. I'm coming. I hung up and looked at Marcus. His face had gone slightly gray. Marcus, there's a man in the emergency room at St. Catherine's Medical Center. He has your name, your address, and apparently your ID. They've been calling me because I'm listed as his emergency contact. The color drained further from his face. That's impossible. My wallet's right. He patted his pockets. His eyes widened. I can't find. Did you go anywhere this morning? Jennifer asked, worried now. Just to the gym. Early. Before the gym traffic. I came straight home and then we came here. His breathing was getting faster. I'm sure I had it when I left the gym. Maybe I dropped it in the parking lot. Marcus, I said steadily. I need you to listen carefully. Either there's someone using your identity in the ER right now, or you're about to need emergency medical attention. Either way, we need to go. This is insane. I feel fine. It's just, he gasped suddenly, hand going to his chest. It's just indigestion. But his face was sweating now and his lips had a faint blue tinge. Marcus. Jennifer stood frightened. We should go. I'm not going to the hospital on Thanksgiving because Sarah wants to play doctor, he insisted, but his voice was weak. Dad, I said, get your keys. Now wait a minute, Dad started. Now. Something in my voice made him move. Marcus tried to stand and stumbled. I caught him. Okay, he breathed. Okay, maybe I don't feel great. We got him to Dad's car. I sat in back with Marcus, monitoring his pulse, watching his breathing. Mom called Jennifer's car to follow us. "This is embarrassing," Marcus muttered. "It's going to be nothing. Acid reflux or something." "Probably," I agreed, counting his heartbeats. "Too fast. Too irregular. You're going to look ridiculous when they send me home." "I hope so." We pulled up to the ER entrance at St. Catherine's. I helped Marcus out of the car and two nurses immediately approached with a wheelchair. "Are you Dr. Williams?" one asked. "Yes. We've been calling." There was confusion about the patient. "This is Marcus Williams. He's experiencing chest pain, left arm pain, diaphoresis and shortness of breath. He needs immediate evaluation." They moved fast, wheeling him through the doors. Marcus looked back at me, suddenly scared. "Sarah. I'm right here." We entered the ER and I saw Dr. Patel rushing toward us. "Dr. Williams, thank God. We have our two ready for." He stopped, staring at Marcus in the wheelchair. "Wait, this is your brother? I thought you said." "Long story. What's his status?" "We haven't finished the evaluation yet, he just arrived." "No," I said. "What's the status of the other Marcus Williams you called about?" Dr. Patel's face went confused. "Other? Dr. Williams, you're the emergency contact for Marcus Williams. There's only one. This one." The nurses were already moving, attaching monitors, starting in 4. The machines began beeping. "Acute MI," the lead nurse said, reading the monitor. "ST elevation anterolateral." Marcus's eyes found mine. He looked terrified. Dr. Patel was barking orders. "Get cardiology down here. Page the on-call surgical team." "I'm already here," I said quietly. He stared at me. "You're on call tonight?" "I'm on call every night. I'm chief of cardiothoracic surgery." The ER went silent except for the monitors. Marcus made a choking sound that wasn't from his heart attack. "Dr. Williams." Dr. Patel recovered quickly. "He's going to need emergency bypass surgery. Multiple vessel disease from the looks of it." I looked at the monitors, the readings confirming what I already knew. Massive heart attack. Critical blockages. Without immediate surgery, Marcus would die within hours. "Prep or two," I said. "Call my team." And someone paged Dr. Morrison from cardiology to assist. "Dr. Morrison is in Vermont with his family." "I know. Call him anyway. He'll want to know." The nurses were already moving, rolling Marcus toward the surgical wing. "Sarah." Marcus's voice was small. "What's happening?" I walked beside the gurney, keeping my voice calm. "You're having a serious heart attack, Marcus. Multiple blockages in your coronary arteries. You need bypass surgery and you need it now." "But you're not actually." "I'm the chief of cardiothoracic surgery at this hospital. I've been the chief for 6 months. Before that, I was an attending surgeon here for 2 years. Before that, I completed my residency and fellowship in cardiothoracic surgery." His face was white. "Chief." "Yes. You're going to do surgery?" "I'm going to save your life." We reached the surgical wing. My team was already assembling. Nurses I'd worked with for years, anesthesiologists I trusted, surgical assistants who knew my preferences. Dr. Williams, my head surgical nurse, Patricia, appeared with a tablet. "Patient consent, pre-op checklist, family notification." "His wife is in the waiting room. My parents as well. Have someone brief them." Jennifer burst through the doors, mom and dad behind her. "What's happening? Is he okay?" "Sarah, what?" "He needs emergency heart surgery," I explained. "I'm going to perform a coronary artery bypass. The survival rate is very good if we operate immediately." Jennifer stared at me. "You're going to, but you're not, eh?" "She's the chief of surgery," Dr. Patel said quietly. "One of the best cardiac surgeons in the state." Mom made a small sound. "There's paperwork," I told Jennifer. "Consent forms. The nurses will explain everything. The surgery will take approximately 4 to 5 hours." "But..." Jennifer looked between me and Marcus, who was being prepped for anesthesia. "But at dinner you said you were just..." "I didn't say anything at dinner," I corrected gently. "You assumed." Marcus grabbed my hand. "Sarah. I'm scared." I squeezed his hand once. "I know. But you're going to be fine. I promise." "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." All those things I said. We'll talk after. Right now, I need you to trust me. I do. I trust you. The anesthesiologist approached. Dr. Williams were ready to put him under. I nodded and stepped back as they administered the anesthesia. Marcus's eyes fluttered closed. Dad grabbed my arm. Sarah. Is he really going to be okay? He has an excellent chance. The blockages are severe, but we caught it in time. You're really the chief? Yes. Mom was crying. Why didn't you tell us? You never asked. You assumed I was failing and I was too tired to correct you. I turned to Patricia. Let's get started. The surgery took 4.5 hours. Multiple bypass grafts. Extensive blockages in 3 major arteries. It was complex, delicate work, the kind of surgery that required years of training and absolute precision. My team moved like a symphony. Every instrument exactly where I needed it. Every monitoring beep tracked and interpreted. Every suture placed with care. Remarkable work, Dr. Williams, the assisting surgeon murmured as I completed the final anastomosis. That vessel was nearly 90% blocked. He's young, I said. He'll recover well. When I finally emerged from the OR, still in my surgical scrubs, my family was in the waiting room. They stood when they saw me. He's stable, I said. Surgery went perfectly. He'll be in ICU for observation, but his prognosis is excellent. Jennifer burst into tears. Mom grabbed Dad's hand. Can we see him? Jennifer asked. In about an hour. He needs to wake up from anesthesia first. Aunt Linda appeared from somewhere staring at me. Sarah. You're a surgeon. Yes. A chief surgeon. Chief of cardiothoracic surgery. But you never said. You never asked what I actually did. You assumed I was assisting and I didn't bother to correct you. Dad sat down heavily. All those dinners. All those conversations. All those years of Marcus mocking me, I said quietly. And none of you ever defended me. None of you ever asked me about my actual job. You just assumed he was right. Mom was shaking. We thought you were struggling. That you'd made a mistake with medical school. I wasn't struggling. I was succeeding. But it was easier to let you believe whatever you wanted than to constantly defend myself. Why? Mom whispered. Why didn't you tell us? Would you have believed me? Or would Marcus have found some way to diminish it? Some way to make it sound less impressive than his real estate deals? No one answered. A nurse appeared. Dr. Williams? Your brother is waking up. His wife can see him now if she'd like. Jennifer followed the nurse, looking back at me with an expression I couldn't quite read. I sat down across from my parents. I'm sorry, Dad said finally. For not asking. For assuming. For letting Marcus. For 12 years, I said. 12 years of Thanksgiving dinners and Sunday meals and family gatherings, and not once did any of you ask me about my work. Not really. Not beyond how's the hospital, while you were passing the potatoes. You thought I was failing. You thought Marcus was right. You thought I should have listened to you and become a nurse instead. Aunt Linda sat beside me. For what it's worth, I'm incredibly proud of you. Thank you. And I'm sorry. We all just assumed. Marcus was so confident and you were so quiet. I was quiet because I was working 80-hour weeks saving people's lives, I said. I was quiet because I was exhausted. I was quiet because defending myself to you took energy I needed for my patients. Mom sat on my other side. What can we do? How can we fix this? I don't know if you can. Sarah. I saved Marcus's life tonight. Without me he would have died. But at dinner, just hours before his heart attack, he was telling me I wasn't talented enough to be a real doctor. I looked at her. Do you understand how that feels? She started crying again. I need to check on my patient, I said, standing. Dad stood too. Sir, wait. Please. We're sorry. We're so sorry. We should have been better parents. Yes, I agreed. You should have. I walked away, leaving them in the waiting room. Marcus woke up disoriented, tubes and wires everywhere, Jennifer holding his hand. Hey, I said, checking his monitors. How are you feeling? Like someone cracked open my chest. Someone did. Me. He tried to laugh, winced. Sarah. I'm so sorry. Your apologies can wait. Right now, I need you to focus on recovery. All those things I said. All those years. Marcus, you just had major heart surgery. We'll talk when you're stronger. Jennifer squeezed his hand. She saved your life. I know. His eyes filled with tears. I know. You have a long recovery ahead, I said clinically. Cardiac rehabilitation, lifestyle changes, medication management. I'll have the care team brief you on everything tomorrow. Will you be my doctor? I'll oversee your care, yes. I don't deserve. You're my brother. And you're my patient. That's all that matters right now. He nodded, exhausted. I adjusted his flow, made some notes on his chart. Get some rest. I'll check on you in the morning. As I left, I heard Jennifer whisper, I can't believe we didn't know. I can't believe you didn't know. I was an idiot, Marcus mumbled. Such an idiot. 3 days later, Marcus was stable enough for a real conversation. I found him sitting up in bed looking at his phone. You made the news, he said without preamble. What? He turned the screen toward me. It was a local news article. Top cardiac surgeon saves brother's life after years of family doubting her career. I groaned. Who talked to the press? Dad, I think. He was trying to, I don't know, apologize publicly? It's gone kind of viral. Great. Sarah, sit down. Please. I sat. I was wrong, he said. About everything. I was jealous. Jealous. You were always the smart one. The dedicated one. The one who actually worked for things. I coasted through college, fell into real estate because Dad knew someone, got lucky with timing in the market. But you earned everything. Marcus. And instead of being proud of my little sister, I spent 12 years tearing you down because it made me feel better about myself. I didn't know what to say. I'm going to do better, he continued. I'm going to be better. And I'm going to make sure everyone knows what an incredible surgeon you are. I don't need you to promote me. I know. But I'm going to anyway. I'm going to spend the rest of my life making up for being the worst brother in the world. You weren't the worst. Sarah, I told you that you weren't talented enough to be a doctor. Then you performed emergency open heart surgery and saved my life. I was objectively, measurably the worst. Despite everything, I smiled. Mom and Dad want to talk to you, he said. They've been in the waiting room every day. They're terrified you won't forgive them. I don't know if I can yet. I understand. I don't know if I can forgive myself. I stood, checking his monitors one more time. Your recovery is progressing well. You should be able to go home in another few days. Will you still come to Sunday dinners? After I'm recovered? I don't know. I understand that too. I moved toward the door. Sarah. I turned back. Thank you, he said quietly, for saving my life. Even after everything I said. Thank you. You're my brother, I said. That doesn't change no matter what you said at Thanksgiving. 2 weeks later, I received an email from Marcus. Subject: I'm sorry. Sir, I know I've apologized in person, but I wanted to write this down. Put it in words I can't take back. I spent 12 years convinced that my success validated me and your failure validated that I was the superior sibling. I built my entire self-worth on the idea that I was more successful, more talented, more valuable than you. When I woke up from surgery and realized you were chief of cardiothoracic surgery, not just a surgeon but the chief, I had to confront the fact that everything I believed was wrong. You weren't failing. You were succeeding at a level I can't even comprehend. You were saving lives while I was buying rental properties. You were becoming one of the top cardiac surgeons in the state while I was bragging about my profit margins. And the worst part? You never needed to prove anything to me. You never needed my validation. You were doing work that actually matters, work that saves lives, and my opinion of you is completely irrelevant to that. I'm in cardiac rehab now. Learning about heart health, lifestyle changes, stress management. The other patients talk about their surgeons with such reverence and gratitude. Last week, someone mentioned they had surgery at St. Catherine's with Dr. Williams, and they went on for 10 minutes about how skilled and compassionate you were. That's when it really hit me. You have patients who are alive because of you. Families who still have their loved ones because of your skill and dedication. You have colleagues who respect you and a hospital that trusts you with its most critical cases. And I have rental properties. I'm not saying real estate isn't valuable. But I am saying that I've been comparing apples to oranges and declaring myself superior because I'm too shallow to understand the difference. Mom and Dad are going to therapy. Did you know that? They found a family therapist who specializes in repair work for damaged relationships. They want you to join when you're ready. I'm in therapy too. Individual sessions. Trying to figure out why I needed to tear you down to feel good about myself. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I know I can't undo 12 years of cruelty with a few apologies. But I want you to know that I see you now. Really see you. And I'm in awe of what you've accomplished. You're an incredible surgeon, an amazing person, and the sister I never deserved. I love you. I'm sorry. And thank you for saving my life. Marcus. I read the email 3 times. Then I called him. Hello. He sounded surprised. Sunday dinner, I said. Next week. But there are conditions. Anything. No one discusses my career unless I bring it up first. No one compares my success to yours. No one diminishes what I do or makes jokes about medical school. And if anyone, dismisses nursing or suggests it's inferior to being a doctor, I'm leaving. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I'm serious, Marcus. I know. And I agree. 100%. Okay. I'll see you Sunday. He was quiet for a moment. Sarah? Thank you. For giving me another chance. You're my brother, I said. That doesn't change. Sunday dinner was awkward. Everyone was too polite, too careful. Mom kept looking at me like I might disappear. Dad kept trying to ask about work, then stopping himself. Marcus said almost nothing, just smiled weakly whenever our eyes met. But Jennifer broke the tension. Sarah, can I ask about the surgery? I've been reading about bypass procedures and I don't understand how you reattach the blood vessels. Do you sew them? Is it like regular sewing? I explained microsurgery techniques. Then Dad asked about surgical training. Then Aunt Linda asked about the difference between cardiothoracic surgery and general surgery. Real questions. Genuine interest. Marcus listened quietly, his hand over his chest, over the scar where I'd cracked open his ribs and stitched his broken heart back together. I'm proud of you, Mom said suddenly. I should have said that 12 years ago. I should have said it every single day. I'm proud of you. Thank you, I said quietly. We're all proud, Dad added. We failed to show it. We failed you. Yes, I agreed. You did. Can we do better? Mom asked. Is it too late? I looked around the table. At my family, flawed and human and trying. It's not too late, I said. But it's going to take time. We have time, Marcus said. Thanks to you, I have lots of time. Jennifer laughed, then we were all laughing, the tension breaking like a fever. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't fixed. But it was a start. 6 months later, I was in surgery when my pager went off. Emergency case incoming. I finished closing up my current patient, scrubbed out and headed to the ER. What do we have? I asked Dr. Patel. 53-year-old male, acute MI, just like your brother. Family brought him in immediately because they recognized the symptoms. Good. That makes a difference. Dr. Williams? A woman in the waiting room stood up. Are you Dr. Sarah Williams? Yes. My husband is having a heart attack. Marcus Williams referred us to you. He said if anyone could save him, you could. I looked at her worried face, her terrified eyes. Your husband is in good hands, I said. Let me see what we're working with. As I walked toward the bay, my phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. Patient referral coming your way. Family friend. Take good care of him. And Sarah? Thank you. For everything. I smiled and put my phone away. Then I went to do what I do best. I saved a life.